Frank Warren signed to DAZN. Yo, I'm not gonna lie, yeah. I think this is the end of Eddie Hearn. You know?
Eddie Hearn is currently waking up in cold sweats, bro.
Trust me.
Because it's not just Frank Warren has signed to DAZN. There's that. But it's the whole sequence. It all started with the 5v5.
5v5.
Is it going back further than that?
I would be honest, bro. I think it started slightly before.
Yeah.
I think it started slightly before. Because here's the thing, yeah. One of the biggest things that I saw was when Frank Warren negotiated. Because remember, Eddie was the first one to do business with Saudi, you know, when he had AJ versus Ruiz in Saudi Arabia. That was before, that was with
Khalid Sauerland and that.
Khalid Sauerland had that fight, but he never had a deal with them. Remember, he went and got a deal with Skills Challenge, innit? Remember, he had the Usyk fight, AJ versus Usyk, when AJ threw the belts out the bin, plus the AJ versus Ruiz, which was before that.
Yeah.
Both of them were in Saudi. Then, out of nowhere, Eddie Hearn does a deal with, and Frank Warren does a deal with Turkey, leapfrogs him, and we can clearly see that Frank Warren is the main promoter for what's his name? Turkey Al Sheikh and Riyadh season. He's literally the main promoter. You obviously got Dev Sani, shout out to Dev, who's doing the main broadcasting. But more than anything, bro, Frank Warren is the person who's been pushing the fights. He's the one. He was even there and on the front table for Bivol versus Beterbiev, despite the fact that he doesn't have Bivol nor Beterbiev. So that just shows you he's.
But with I get what you're saying, but with the Saudi thing and with the money thing, like, there's a lot of people that's on stage that shouldn't be on stage. Like, not shouldn't be, but the lines are very blurred with
of
who.
Course.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you're seeing certain Frank Warren fights and Eddie's there, or there's everyone's sort of. It's like a big party where everyone's working together now.
That's facts. But here's I'm not even, because now Frank Warren has signed to DAZN. I'm not even going to get into the hypocrisy. Because there was a lot.
The clips that are going to go viral.
We could get into that in a second. Yeah. And I can see it coming. Because when
we kept the file. We kept the files. We got the receipts.
When TNT didn't pick up the Fury fight versus Usyk, I'm like, yeah. DAZN are going to sign Frank.
Yeah.
But what's the most alarming thing for Eddie Hearn is that his stable in the UK stinks, bro. But his stable in the UK.
But his UK stable has always been like that.
Bro.
His UK
that's a lie.
His UK stable has always been like this.
No way,
it's always been like this. He's always leveled it off. He's always leveled it off with foreign talent.
Nah, bro. His UK stable has never stunk this much, bro.
Never this bad.
He's always had at least 2 pay-per-view stars, bro. He's always had at least 2 pay-per-view stars. At least. Always. And he would always have at least 4 or 5 big UK shows a year, not just AJ. Like, I'm talking about, bro, this guy was promoting, like, this guy had Dylan White and Chisora on pay-per-view, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, this guy had...
But you know, is Frank went and got all of the exciting up-and-coming talent.
Out of the UK, facts.
For the UK.
Out of the UK,
do you know
facts.
what I'm saying? He kind of took a couple big losses, you know what I'm saying, with the AJ, and Fury was kind of wavering or whatever. He made his money with the Deontay Wilder fights, but AJ was really the big star of the division. And Frank just seemed to take his time, and start getting the Itomas and start getting those guys, the Hamza Shirazes and I mean Sam Noakes. I'm gonna throw Sam Noakes in there. His friend of the show,
Ball.
yeah, Nick Ball, all these kind of. He just started to throw these kind of names in there and say, you know what, I'm just gonna hedge my bets. I'm gonna take my time, and in 5 years' time, we're gonna be there.
Eddie Hearn's biggest issue was he spread himself too thin.
Yeah.
Like, his stable at one stage was just ridiculously
big. But he also didn't really... I know promoters don't do this because it's always one person, but he didn't really build the brand of Matchroom. Although Matchroom is the brand is really Eddie Hearn. I felt.
Oh, I see your point.
So there wasn't... although he's got... is it Frank Smith?
Frank Smith, yeah.
Although he's got Frank Smith, and Frank Smith, from what I've heard, is very good at what he does, but Frank Smith could never... He couldn't say, go and handle the American stuff while I do the UK, or vice versa.
Yeah, facts.
Because he hadn't scaled it that way. Actually, Frank's sons seem to have done a better job in terms of that stuff than Frank Smith.
I don't think it's that. I genuinely think it's, what you were saying before, it's the investment in foreign talent. This guy promotes Dimitri Bivol. He promoted Devin Haney for a couple of years. He promotes Shakur Stevenson, Jerome Boots Ennis. He promoted Canelo Alvarez. Bam Bam Rodriguez.
Yeah.
These are pound for pound stars, bro.
Yeah.
They take a large sum of money.
Yeah.
When you have obviously
And
time and attention, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? You have to bear in mind, bro. This guy has obviously the Regis Prograis and Jack Catterall fight was last week, but his biggest shows this year have been in the United States of America. In Saudi. It hasn't been in England, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? It hasn't been in England. And when you look at his stable, bro, I think he said he's doing a 5v5 with Oscar Valdez. Not one of those guys were, other than Jack Catterall, not one of them guys were English. You're an English promoter.
Yeah.
What Frank hasn't done is, and I do think he invested in the young talent, but more than anything was, he knew his market. Yeah. Nobody knows the sport of boxing more than Frank. Yeah. Maybe Ben Shalom should actually learn something from Frank. Frank invests money in guys who he knows is worth investing money in, bro. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, he ain't losing money on guys, bro, that guy's a load of shit. He knows boxing. Yeah. Frank knows boxing, bro. Whereas Eddie, I'm not saying he doesn't, but Eddie also knows commercial, and he cares about the commercial value of a fighter. So when he had guys like Canelo Alvarez, I told him so many times, don't throw Canelo Alvarez in with Dimitri Bivol. I also told him, don't throw AJ in there with Usyk. I also told him, I told him multiple times that you should have had Devin Haney on a longer contract. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't have had him on a fight.
You told him this face to face?
No, I said it on social media.
Okay.
But if he listened to me, he would be in a much better position. But even in the UK market, there isn't much UK stars out here, bro. Yeah. Let's keep it real. What UK stars are there? But Frank, what he's done,
he even tried to dabble in the influencer boxing, didn't he?
Yeah, trust.
You know what I'm saying?
But because even though he signs to DAZN, I think Frank's just going to become the main UK promoter. But Frank hasn't put on amazing UK shows this year neither. What amazing UK show has he put on? But what Frank has done is he's colonized the heavyweight division.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
who's got Bacoli?
Ben Shalom. But
Ben Shalom is just hanging on.
But let's keep it real though. Bacoli's a great fighter. Bacoli is a great fighter. But this guy couldn't sell pussy in a prison. So what do you mean, bro? This guy's got no selling power, bro. Like, even though he's a great fighter.
Yeah.
So him having Bacoli is irrelevant, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, shout out to Frank Warren, even though you were a hypocrite. What did my man say? DAZN, who wants to fight on an app? It's just an app. We don't care about the app. He obviously has gone back on his talk. Obviously, they're paying him big money.
So
but you know what?
TNT out of the boxing business then?
For now. But you know what? I wonder what that means for Steve Bunce. I'm tired of hearing that guy.
Hopefully he's unemployed. He can just retire, man. He's been at this game for a long time, man.
But I can't lie. I think Frank Warren deserves it.
Were you surprised?
What?
By the news when he joined Riyadh?
No, I wasn't. I told you, when I saw Tyson Fury and Usyk's fight on DAZN, I was like, yeah, bro, TNT are going to lose Frank. But here's the question. I wonder if we
can get any slightly less biased commentary if everybody's on DAZN.
Maybe.
I wonder what that does to the media.
Here's a question, though. Mm-hmm. Eddie Hearn has 2 years left with DAZN. Do they renew his contract? I mean, they might not renew his contract for UK boxing. I mean, with his stable in America, you can't not have him. I mean, this guy's got a bad boy fighters in America.
But then can he leverage his American contract to keep the UK contract?
That's a good question.
Do you know what I mean? So
it's a good question. His biggest fight in the UK is AJ and Conor Benn, bro. What other big fights does he have in the UK? Jack Catterall, maybe?
I was going to say Jack Catterall, yeah.
It's not looking good, bro.
That's peak. Yeah, it's looking very ugly for Eddie Hearn right now. And I definitely think he cried himself to sleep that night. But
he said he's happy about it.
Yeah, but he's always going to say that.
He said, we're working together now, but bro, you need to get a better British stable, bro. Your British stable is looking weak, bro. Man as well had like Carl Froch, Kell Brook, AJ. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's had proper British
top
names.
Tier,
do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Good names you can sell.
Sellable names.
Even Derek Chisora, Dylan White, like they weren't big names, but they were sellable names.
Yeah.
Now you got man like flipping Johnny Fisher.
Yeah.
It's mad.
Alan Babbage and them, man.
It's looking tired, man.
Yeah, now listen, Frank's played the long game. His fighters are going to be laughing, smiling. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully that means big opportunities for Atoma and Sam Noakes and them, man. Hopefully getting them Saudi fights. I think Noakes has fought in Saudi already, to be fair, but getting them bigger plates you know what I'm saying? All the fighters on the stable got to be rubbing their hands. And
Trust
doing
me. I mean, I don't think it makes a massive difference other than the fact that DAZN is a global platform now.
Yeah.
And obviously, who wouldn't want to see some of the British stable go over and fight some Americans or in Saudi? So, 100.
Say no more. Shout out. Congratulations to Frank.
Trust.